Yesterday we shot some video of doing roof panel, floor pan. We didn't show you the tunnel. We redid that. We thought we'd show that today in a bit of a shorter video. Don't want to overpower you with too much cutting and patching, but I do want to show this job as we go through it so people see how much is involved in it. So today's video, I'm going to check out the floor and just doing that one patch. It's a bit of a curve. I do some weird bending on my bench with a piece of pipe. I thought it might be informative to a few people, so check it out. Okay, we're going to start by getting the junk out of the way. You can see it's easy. It shouldn't be too hard to top this. I'm going to dolly this straight. I'm going to use this for a pattern. Roll up something new. Just got to get my, well, we'll see. This, the spoon. Let's do some dollying. Okay, it's stretched a bit. Weld. The new piece, I'll bring that out. You can see, I mean, I could do a shrink on that, but it's right on the edge. So I'm just going to make sure I'm flush and pull it up to the new piece. So right now, we're going to grab our steel. And we're going to quickly trace that out. And we're going to make the piece too big so it's easier to roll. Get the shape first. There you go. Right there. Let's see if I can bend it over something. So I've got the big English wheel in the back there. And I've got sort of a hobbyist wheel in the front. This one is good. It flexes a lot more. I have something else over here that I'm going to use first. Now that I'm looking at it, on the front I welded a piece of 2-inch pipe and I spaced it off my bench so I can stick this in and I can roll it. And it's not a sharp roll, and that's why you leave the part too big so you have more leverage when you're bending by hand. Okay, and I'll wheel that to make it smoother. I gotta find my piece. Yeah, reasonably close for now. Now we'll put it in the wheel. And I still haven't finished cleaning up my shop. Getting the wheel with quite a crown on it. I think that's what, a 10-inch radius. Yeah. trying to get rid of the ridges. I could have left the piece way bigger and done a soft roll on a bigger piece of pipe. It would have been easier. Going diagonally here, I'm going to smooth it out. Getting close. In fact, yeah, just give it a little more straight across. Just trying to smooth out any ridges. Curve it a little bit the other way. Step on that and flatten it out. So I had my honorable assistant. I would lay that on there and trace around the hole. I might be able to do that. I'll see. This is easy. Okay. Voila. Let's see what we got. Okay, so it's slightly too big, so I'm going to tack a couple places I like and then run the zip cut up the edge. But before I do that, I'll go to the anvil and I'll tap all the way around here because the panel's been distorted by the shears. So in the interest of time, I'll tack and trim. What I call it. Okay. Oh yeah. tacked on there good. I remember some people, one of the guys, I think it was James West, likes to leave tabs. This is overlaps, kind of the same idea. It can't sink out of sight. So I'm going to zip along one edge, and I'll tack that edge. Then I'll zip here, I'll zip here. It's just another way of doing it. Again, we had this one stretched area. I'll pull that out. I can get in there when I go to weld that. I got a bit of a gap here, but that is not hard. In fact, I think I'm going to tack that right now. So I just start with a weld on the heavy metal, and then I build on that and work my way down. That's a big gap. Oh, that was a pretty big gap. Just welded. Then it's solid and doesn't bounce. Okay, I'm happy with that. Actually, there's some more of that that's flush. I grab all I can while I can. Okay. So I'm going to put a new blade on my tiny zip cut so I have less of a gap to fill when I'm welding it. And then we'll come back here and we'll get serious. A little more. Okay, I'll come down the back edge. Yeah. Looking out nice. Okay, I could use a vice grip through here, but I think I'm looking pretty good up top. One little, oh no, no, that's perfectly flush. Okay. Got lucky there. Trim the back off. All right. That was hot. There. Perfect. Wow. Yeah, build a little more. Ta-da! Nice. That's got to be cut just a bit. And so does the bottom. Just a little more. Okay, here's my little zipper. As much as it's not critical, I want to look under the car and have it look as good as the top of the car. So I make everything flush. I go underneath, we're going to grind it, we're going to make it nice. Right now I'm going to go underneath and tap this original metal off a bit. See if it shows up. Okay, that works. I don't know if you can see that, but that's flush. Okay, so now just the bottom. The bottom will take some finesse. Gonna cut the first bit before I pull out the second bit. Well, that's odd. Gonna have to bump it from behind then. Okay. Somewhere along there is going to be flush. Yeah, and then I can refine it. Excellent. It's a good starting point. because this is stretched, I'm just going to cut 2 or 3 inches and weld that. All right, do a little from the other end. Oh yeah. Okay, just a little more. Yeah, man, good stuff. Yeah, I got it too hot there with my last centimeter and I just pushed too hard. Anyhow, as you can see, that didn't take very long. It doesn't have to. So, I'm going to grind that up. I'll turn it back on when I'm ground because you've probably seen enough of that. And I might hit a couple of around here. Anyhow, goes real simple. Grind that up. I mean, we didn't have a hard act to follow, right? So we're gonna make that look nice, top and bottom. Cheers. All right, this has been a short day. It takes a while to get in the groove, get things lined up. But I would say we've got this tunnel in. I'll show you the bottom side of it in a minute. We've got the top replaced at the seam. And we've got this floor repaired down here. Now, I picked some pretty simple ones just to get back into it. I could tip this thing up, but I think I can crawl underneath. Like I say, it's important. And it looks good everywhere. So you see that from underneath? It looks a little nasty, but a little bit of grinding. That's going to be real nice and invisible. That's the idea. We look down here, we have very little. We have a spot here where there's 3 different layers of steel. You look down the inside of that, it's pretty nice. I see one other spot, but this car, you don't find them this good. So anyhow, that's the bottom. I wanted a good win to start off. You know, it's a good starting point, not as bad as most. but you still, you know, you got to get started, get a feel for the car, and that's what we've done here today. I've got to, tonight, I'm going to go over to the fireboard through there, and I'm going to knock off the front wheels, take out the front springs. Pat's Automotive is delivering my new parts probably tomorrow. So I'm going to do control arm bushings, and I'm going to do front springs and upper and lower ball joints. The ones in it are good, but I might as well change them while I'm at it. So that was a brief start for today. I get a little better at it with letting you see what I'm doing. As I said, I have a little bit of a concern up here. How bad is that going to get? There can be no rust left behind. This has to last as good or better than it did when it was new. So I'm going to try to finish off this top. I'll go down to the rocker. A little bit of a repair there. Someone did something that was reasonable, but you know, it's a nice place to work. We'll get that fixed up beautifully. The factory seam we have to clean up a little bit where the lead is. Clean that up. And there's a little repair here that I think I might do something with. But this car is exceptional, absolutely. And then you got to look at things like your lead here. There's a little crack in the bottom of the lead. Well, the only way to know is melt that out. Make sure there's no rust in behind it. You know, I might just melt part of it out to start, but that's what I'll do. As I say, as we finish, it's done for good. So, I'm going to try to keep up to date on this pretty much every day. It may just be too dry and not something anyone's interested in seeing. So you let us know. I tried to cut out a lot of the boring stuff. It feels good to be back working. And we'll have an update on Dad's place in her new shop. And also, we're going to wander over to Nathan's house at some point and show him, help him put a quarter skin on his new car. So that's where we'll get started, get a feel for how things work when I'm not in my shop. Anyhow, hope you dig it. Let us know. Subscribe if you haven't. Hope you dig it. Cheers.
So, what'd you get up to today?
Well, first off, I took a couple easy ones, right? I want to get into this job and get back to work. So I cut this out where the lead seam was. We welded all that up. That wasn't too bad. Then I went and took another easy one on the floor. Butt welded that in, a little bit of metal finishing. And then got rid of this ugly mess. So that's replaced. So, you know, you get 2.5, 3 hours. I got to look at my time. But then I had a lot of, you know, I'm chasing parts. So you spend a lot of time on the phone trying to find a good deal on parts, talking to different people. So when I got back to it, I'm like, okay, we got these tiny little pinholes. So I thought if I could weld them up, you know, what's happened in there? How bad is it? Because if I have to make up new pieces, I've got to make this little groove like I did here, and then I got to grind it. It's really tough working down inside the drip. So, after trying to see if I could weld them up, I finally went, I better cut it out. So I cut it out, and you can see it's just too far gone. And if this bubbled in a few years down the road, you'd have to take out the headliner, maybe the glass, you'd have beautiful paint. It would be a huge mistake. So I'm making up new pieces. Again, you don't do too much at a time. You don't want the roof to get away on you. So now I've got to come up to where I ended my first patch. And I've just got to do it. I want to get rid of this on both sides. This is the toughest part of this job, if you ask me, because it's very hard to weld and grind in here. There's glue in here, glue in behind. It all wants to start on fire. when I get the roof done, to me, after that, this job is very simple. Make a few normal panels, but this roof, I'm going to be working for it on
And do the
this.
older vehicles usually do this?
5, 6, 7 Chevys do this. Worse than just about any other vehicles I've worked on. The 5, 6, 7 Chevys. They end up with this problem. Stuff gets trapped in here, there's tar. I mean, you see it on different cars, but 5, 6, 7s, you definitely have to check this line. It's just something that happens. But they're such a cool car, nobody cares, and you fix it. Normally they're smooth. This one's special, has all these body lines. So this is a lot more work, because when it's done, it's got to be beautiful, which is fine. But I am not looking forward to this type of repair. But we'll get her. It's what we do. Okay, so I wanted to let people know I do read the focus group. I watch those comments because that's how we learn what would interest you. So we pay attention to that. I read all those. I do reply to a few of them. And and subscribe, like, and comment. That's awesome. That really helps. Thank you.